Alright, guys, gals, and everything in between. Wow! Pretty sure this is the latest I've ever gotten a Strain review out to you guys, but honest to God, I've been so busy that I try and get these out to you guys every week, and I'm cutting it right on the deadline there. But if you guys follow my Instagram, you guys have seen that I'm a little busier right now. But anyways, so I'm going to briefly talk to you about the Strain because it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and yeah. So I'm just trying to get this one to you for all of you who want to see it. So the Strain, the latest episode, well, episode 7, is really going back and recollecting to season 1 and the events that happened there. Satrakian and Fett are going across town. They're looking for the Master's voice, which Fett and Satrakian were the meat of this episode by far, which I was really, really happy with because Satrakian really hasn't gotten much play this season. He's mostly resorted to the role of sit on a couch or stand in a corner, or stand in an alleyway. Like, he has not done much, and that's been concerning to me about Satrakian. But we got to see him do a little bit of throwing down. He stabbed a Strigoi in the face. That's cool. So that I'm completely okay with, of course. But we got to see a lot of Fett's personal side, and I really like that. We get to see more flashbacks of World War II and find out that Fett's grandfather was a soldier for Russia, I believe it was, and he got captured, and he was in the same camp as Satrakian. And he and Eichhorst had interactions. So it shows these roots interconnecting throughout history, and I really dig that. F, Dutch, and Quinlan are working together, and they have to go back to JFK, which all of you guys know is the iconic episode from the first season, that very first episode where they go to JFK. And we see that with F and Dutch and Quinlan as they go there. They're going past the safe zone. They're looking at all this. We get to see a really cool fight scene of them all throw down. And Quinlan, of course, being cool. And you see them shocked as all of this savagery is going on. They don't get thanked for their service. And Quinlan kind of points out, you're not really going to get thank yous for what you're doing. This is a very grim episode in that sense. And when they get to JFK, they're looking for the black box. And as they're digging for the black box, we hear some gunshots in the distance. And you ever wonder if Quinlan just kind of poses? Because, they'll, hear bang, 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 and they'll come around a corner, and Quinlan's just like, psh, yeah, I'm cool. I know it. Yeah, you get it. I'm awesome. Yeah. And I'm just wondering, what causes him to pose every time? I mean, it's cool. He can do it all he wants. But why does he need to? That's all going on. This episode really, it had a lot of story depth. It didn't have a lot of new revelations going on. This episode felt a little fillery because they've never touched on Fett's grandfather except for a passing remark in season 1. We see that Fett's parents died, and that has a lot of dramatic weight to it. We see Fett really vulnerable, and Satrakian cares, and he's asking him about Fett's past, and we really get closure on Fett and why he's distant with his family to find out that he killed some of the Jews in World War II, and they feel so guilty about that. I really commend it for doing things like that and are willing to go these lengths. That was great to me. And then with F and Dutch, they really just kind of were looking into JFK, killed some people and went home. It was a real basic day for them, but now they can investigate the Master's voice and really try and figure out if they can close off the ability to communicate with the Master, which is a genius idea because now they'll have that raw recording of him, which of course they capture it and they're on their way. And they finally make a deal with Eldridge Palmer, which is awesome because he gets the white. And his was a lot less violent than Satrakian's in season 2, if I'm remembering correctly. But he gives him the white, and Eldritch Palmer has been battling this whole episode with getting clearance at the loading dock. And, of course, there's some Strigoi mischief afoot, because you know they're always up to no good. And so then he gets the deal. He gets some of the juice in his eyes, and he falls over and he starts bleeding from his eyes and looks like a Marilyn Manson cover. So that all happened in one episode, and it felt pretty fillery, but you know, there were a couple advancements made in this story, and I feel like they had to get that covered to really just hammer it home for the last couple episodes. So I was satisfied with the episode. It was a pretty basic episode. I kind of just sat back. The emotional weight of the World War II scenes and Fett were really the things that shined. I know this isn't really my conventional breaking everything down and just sort of geeking out about it, but again, I'm so sorry for this being really late. Schedule will resume as normal tomorrow, so in like 24 hours. I also got a couple movie reviews for you, so can't wait to give that to you. Love you guys.